Okay, let's talk about that feeling. You
Yeah.
stare at the piles building up in your home, you get that wave of overwhelm again.
Yeah.
And then maybe you have a huge tidying session, but days later, it's back. The clutter just rebounds.
It really does. It feels like this endless cycle, doesn't it? You try all the tips, maybe from magazines, that do a little everyday advice.
Exactly. And you still end up right back where you started. It feels like you're constantly tidying, but never actually organized.
That's such a common frustration, that loop.
Right. And that's exactly why today we're diving deep into a really, well, revolutionary approach, one that challenges all that conventional wisdom.
Yeah, this isn't just about cleaning. It's pitched as something much bigger.
Absolutely. It's about a mindset shift, potentially transforming your life. And our main source for this deep dive is that huge international bestseller, The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up by Marie Kondo. You've probably heard of it.
Oh, definitely. It caused a massive stir. And her core method, the KonMari method, it makes a really bold claim.
It does, doesn't it?
She says, basically, if you tackle tidying thoroughly, completely, and this is the key part in one go, you will never go back to clutter again.
Never. That's huge.
Yeah, and the idea is that this one big tidying event can fundamentally reshape not just your home, but maybe your work, your relationships, how you see yourself.
It's a dramatic promise. And it sounds so counterintuitive, right? Like not doing a little every day, prioritizing discarding over finding clever storage.
Totally. It goes against a lot of what we think we know.
So our mission today is to unpack this. We'll guide you through the core principles, share some surprising stories from the book, and really dig into the implications of this life-changing magic. We want to help you figure out if this approach might actually work for you.
So let's start with that fundamental question. Why do we struggle so much? Why do our best efforts often fail?
Yeah, why the rebound?
Well, Kondo points out something quite basic but profound. Most of us were never actually taught how to tidy properly.
Huh. You know, that's true. It's not like cooking or sewing where maybe you got lessons or someone showed you.
Exactly. So even people who've kept house for decades might be using methods that just don't work long term. They're sort of self-taught using flawed techniques.
That makes sense. And we often rely on that common advice, tidy a little each day to keep on top of it.
Right, the gradual approach. But Kondo argues that's actually the problem.
How so?
Her take is if you tidy a little bit every day, you'll basically be tidying forever. You never get that decisive, finished feeling.
So you never really break the cycle.
Precisely. She believes real, lasting change comes from seeing dramatic results quickly. That tidying marathon she talks about, doing it all intensely, at once the impact is so big, it shifts your whole mindset. It changes your relationship with your stuff.
Okay, a tidying marathon. Aiming for perfection in one big go. That sounds, well, frankly exhausting and maybe a bit impossible for a lot of people.
It does sound daunting. But her core idea is that tidying is actually a finite physical process.
Finite. With all the stuff we have.
Well, think about it. The total number of items you own is countable, even if it's huge. The actual work boils down to just two decisions for every single item. Keep it or get rid of it. And if you keep it, find a proper home for it.
Right.
So by committing to doing that whole process decisively, just once, you get the momentum and clarity to make a permanent shift. It's not about some impossible ideal. It's about actually completing the task.
And then she takes it deeper, doesn't she? She connects the state of our homes to our inner state. A cluttered room reflects a cluttered mind.
Exactly. She sees the physical act as a mirror. You know how sometimes maybe before a big exam or deadline, you suddenly feel compelled to tidy?
Oh, yeah, procrastination tidying.
Right. Kondo suggests that's often a subconscious reflex to distract from deeper issues, from inner turmoil. So when you clear your physical space properly, it kind of forces you to face that inner clutter, the anxieties, the problems you've been avoiding.
So tidying isn't the end goal.
No, it's a tool, a catalyst. A life reset, essentially. Clearing the way so you can actually live the life you want.
Okay, so if tidying is this powerful reset, where do we start?
Right.
Because my first instinct, and probably yours too, is I need more storage. Better bins.
Ah, yes. And that, Kondo warns, is the big booby trap.
The storage trap.
Yeah. She admits she used to be a storage fanatic herself, but she realized that clever storage solutions often just create an illusion of tidiness. They hide the stuff, but they don't deal with the root cause, which is usually having too much stuff.
So you have to discard first. No hiding.
Absolutely. Effective tidying, in her philosophy, must start with discarding.
Okay, discarding. That's the hard part for so many people. How do you even decide, especially when it's not just obvious trash. She has a specific first step, right, before you even touch anything.
She does, and it's crucial. Before you discard a single item, she insists you must vividly visualize your ideal lifestyle.
Visualize.
Yeah.
Like,
Not just vaguely, like, I want a tidy house. She means concrete details. What will your room look like when you come home? What's your ideal evening routine? Maybe you want to do yoga or listen to classical music without distractions. She mentions a client who visualized a more feminine lifestyle, and that specific vision helped her discard things that didn't fit, making space for aromatherapy and yoga.
so you need a clear picture of where you're going.
Exactly. It provides the motivation and the filter. You're tidying towards that vision, not just running away from clutter. It helps prevent rebound, too.
Okay, vision first. Then comes the moment of truth, holding the item. And she has that famous, almost iconic question.
The absolute core of the method, does this spark joy?
Spark joy, not, will I use this, or was this expensive?
Nope. It's a direct, intuitive, almost physical response you feel or don't feel when you hold the item.
And the genius of it, she says, is that it flips your focus.
Right. Instead of agonizing over what to get rid of, you focus on what you genuinely want to keep. It becomes about choosing things that bring you happiness, not just managing burdens.
And it's not just thinking about it, is it? She insists on the power of touch. You have to physically hold each thing.
Yes, that physical interaction is vital. She believes your body reacts differently to each item. Holding it helps you bypass all those rationalizations your brain comes up with. Oh, but I might need it someday, or it was a gift, I feel guilty.
Your gut reaction, basically.
Exactly. Your body's immediate visceral response cuts through the mental noise and connects you to how you truly feel about that object.
Okay, so you've made your joy-sparking decisions. You've discarded what doesn't make the cut. Now, how do you organize what's left? Most of us think room by room, right? I'll tackle the bedroom today.
That's the default, but Kondo calls that a fatal mistake.
Fatal. Why?
Because, she argues, similar items like clothes or books tend to be scattered in multiple places around the house. If you tidy room by room, you never see the total volume of what you own in a single category. You end up repeating decisions and never really get a handle on it.
Ah, so her alternative is?
Tidying by category, not location. Gather all the items in one category, say every single piece of clothing you own, from closets, drawers, laundry bins, coat racks, everywhere, and put them in one giant pile.
Oh, wow. I can just imagine the shock of seeing, like, she mentions an average of 160 tops, all in one place.
It's meant to be a shock, a wake-up call about the sheer volume. And doing it this way, category by category, apparently helps hone your decision-making skills much faster. You get better at recognizing that spark joy feeling.
And she has a specific order for the categories, too, doesn't she? Starting with the easiest to build momentum.
Exactly. You start with clothes. She even suggests beginning with off-season clothes within that category.
Why off-season?
Because it's generally easier to be objective. You're not thinking, but I need something to wear tomorrow. You can just ask, does seeing this again next season spark joy? It helps you practice the criterion.
Okay. And then there's her loungewear taboo. I found this one really interesting. The idea that you shouldn't just downgrade clothes you don't love into stuff you wear around the house.
Right. Her point is about self-respect and the energy of your home environment. Your time at home is precious, she argues. You should wear things that make you feel good, things that spark joy, even if nobody else sees you.
Because wearing those old, maybe slightly depressing sweatpants affects how you feel.
Precisely. It impacts your self-image, your energy. She feels quite strongly that loungewear deserves the same spark joy standard.
And then folding. She calls it magic. I always thought folding was just, practical.
She elevates it completely. Yes, folding correctly into smooth little rectangles that can stand up on their edge saves a ton of space, like 20 to 40 folded items in the space 10 hung ones might take.
Wow.
But it's more than that. She describes it as an act of tiat, a Japanese term meaning to apply hands. It's like transmitting positive energy to the clothes, showing appreciation. It's a dialogue, she says, where you notice wear and tear and thank the item.
Okay, that's a different way to think about laundry. And for hanging clothes.
There's a specific way to. Arrange them so they rise to the right. Heavy, long, dark items on the left, moving towards lighter, shorter, brighter items on the right.
Like an upward slope.
Exactly. She believes it creates a more uplifting, energizing feeling when you look in your closet. It sounds subtle, but it's about creating positive energy flow.
And the socks. I have to ask about the socks. Never ball them up.
Never. Or tie stockings. She believes they need to rest properly after working hard carrying you around all day. Fold them neatly, store them vertically on edge, like tiny soldiers resting.
It's treating everyday items with respect.
Yes, a sense of gratitude for their service. It's a recurring theme.
She also pushes for getting rid of seasonal storage, right? Keeping everything accessible year-round.
Pretty much. By loosely categorizing by material like cotton-like or wool-like rather than strict seasons, everything stays visible and usable. No more hauling boxes down from the attic.
And new clothes, there's a ritual.
Unpack and detag them immediately. Take them out of the shop packaging. This act, she says, transforms them from just products into your personal belongings. It makes them part of your wardrobe, stops them from getting lost or forgotten with the tags still on.
Okay, clothes done. Category 2 is books. And again, the first step is dramatic. Take all books off the shelves, pile them on the floor.
Yes, to awaken them, make them conscious. But then comes the crucial, maybe surprising rule.
Don't start reading them.
Absolutely not. Reading clouds your judgment, she insists. You get sucked into the story or the information. The only question is, holding it now, does this spark joy? It has to be quick, intuitive.
What about all those books we bought with good intentions but never actually read, the self-help, the language course?
Ah, yes. Her take is pretty blunt. Sometime means never.
Ouch.
She argues their purpose might have actually been fulfilled the moment you bought them. The initial excitement, the feeling you could learn that thing. They taught you, perhaps, that you didn't really need to read them.
So letting them go isn't failure. It's acknowledging their purpose was met.
In a way, yes. And she finds that having fewer books actually increases the impact of the ones you do keep and read. She even tried an experiment herself, copying out key quotes from books she wanted to discard into a notebook.
The bulk reduction method. Did it work?
Nope. She said she never looked at the notebook again. It was just too much effort. Better to keep only the books that truly move you, your personal Hall of Fame books.
Okay, fewer, more impactful books. Makes sense. Category 3, papers. And the rule here sounds even more extreme. Discard almost everything.
That's the starting point. Because let's face it, papers rarely spark joy.
True. So what do you keep?
Only 3 types, basically. 1, papers currently in use. 2, papers needed for a limited time, like warranties for a specific period. 3, papers that must be kept indefinitely. Contracts, insurance policies, deeds, that's it.
And filing. I dread filing.
Her system is radically simple. Forget complex categories. Just have one folder or box for papers to be saved, the indefinite ones, and one needs attention box for things you actively need to deal with.
And the goal for the needs attention box.
Keep it empty. It's a visual reminder. If it's empty, you're on top of things.
What about specific types of paper clutter, like old lecture notes, credit card statements?
Discard. Lecture notes the value was in attending, she says. If you didn't apply it, the notes won't help now. Credit card statements, pay slips, check them, then toss. Their purpose is fulfilled. Appliance manuals, you can usually find them online faster. Use checkbooks, most reading cards, unless they really spark joy. Gone.
And the drawer full of mystery cords we all seem to have.
Get rid of them. If you don't know what they're for now, you probably never will. They'll just cause low-level anxiety.
Okay, ruthless on paper. Next is kimono miscellaneous items. This sounds like a huge catch-all category.
It really is. Everything from CDs, DVDs, stationery, makeup, kitchen gadgets, hobby supplies, you name it.
And the rule is the same.
Keep only what you truly love, what sparks joy, not the stuff you keep just because or because it was free or you feel obligated.
She had some specific advice on common kimono clutter, like unwanted gifts.
Yes, this is a big one. Her perspective is that the purpose of a gift is fulfilled when it is received. The act of giving and receiving is the point. If the item itself doesn't bring you joy, you can thank it for the joy of being received and then let it go without guilt.
That's actually quite freeing. What else falls into this discard pile?
Lots of things. Old cosmetic samples, use them immediately or toss them, they expire. Electronics packaging in boxes, they just cost you storage space. Broken appliances you'll never fix. Guest bedding you haven't used in years. Spare buttons by the time you need one, the garment is often worn out anyway. Those latest health craze gadgets you use twice. Free novelty promotional items.
The stuff that just accumulates.
Exactly. Thank it for the initial excitement or its brief service, then let it move on.
And small change. Coins in jars, piggy banks.
Her motto: into my wallet. Put it back into circulation. Don't let it sit forgotten in a jar where it can lose its dignity, get discolored, or even moldy. Treat money with respect. Let it flow.
Okay. Now for the final, toughest category. Sentimental items, saved for last for a reason, I imagine.
Definitely. This is where the emotional connection is strongest. Photos, old letters, childhood keepsakes. You need your spark joy muscle to be fully honed by this point.
What's her key advice for tackling these? It feels hard to let go of memories.
Her main point is that true, precious memories don't vanish when you discard the object. The memories live inside you. You live in the present, not the past, trapped in boxes.
And she strongly advises against just shipping unwanted sentimental items off to your parents' house, right?
Very strongly. She calls it burdening them, and crucially, avoiding your own need to process your past. She shares a story about a client whose mother was overwhelmed by the boxes her daughter sent home. Dealing with these items yourself, making the decision, is part of settling accounts with your past and resetting your life.
So it's about confronting your history through these objects.
Yes. Being ruthless, even with old love letters, gifts from exes, childhood drawings, if they don't spark joy for the person you are now, letting them go creates space for your present and future.
And photos. She says leave them until the absolute very end.
The very end. Because they are so potent. The method is take them out of albums, look at each one individually. Keep only those that truly spark joy. Maybe just 5 representative photos from a trip, not hundreds. And don't put off sorting them until you're old, she warns. Someday never comes for those overwhelming boxes.
Wow. Okay, so assuming you've gone through all that, discarded mountains of stuff, and are left only with things that spark joy, then you think about storage.
Exactly. And the first principle is fundamental. Designate a specific place for every single thing you decide to keep.
Every single item has a home.
Yes. That's the key to preventing clutter rebound. If everything has a place, tidying up becomes effortless, just putting things back where they belong. And she champions ultimate simplicity in storage. Forget complex systems based on frequency of use or elaborate flow planning.
So simple, she says she can remember where everything is in all her clients' homes.
That's her claim. Because the logic is straightforward. Keep all items of one type in one place. Don't scatter them.
And her other big storage mantra.
Yes.
Vertical storage is everything.
Yes. Never pile things if you can help it. Store clothes vertically in drawers, books on shelves vertically, documents and files vertically, even things like carrots in the fridge drawer.
Why vertical?
It prevents things at the bottom from getting crushed, makes everything visible and accessible, no digging, and helps you be more aware of the volume you have. Your drawers look like neat filing cabinets.
And surprisingly, she says you don't need to buy fancy storage containers.
Mostly not. Her absolute favorite storage tool, the humble shoebox.
Really? Shoeboxes.
She finds them incredibly versatile, sturdy, usually a good size, often attractive, and best of all, free. She advises avoiding round or oddly shaped containers because they waste space. The message is, work with what you have before buying more stuff.
What about storing bags, like handbags or backpacks?
Her method is bags in bags. Nest them inside each other, ideally grouping similar materials or types together. Keep the straps visible so you know what's inside. It saves a lot of space and helps them keep their shit.
And another daily habit she recommends is emptying your handbag every single day.
Yes. Treat your bag with respect, she says. It works hard for you. Emptying it gives it a rest, prevents things from getting lost in the bottom, stops you carrying unnecessary weight, and means you start fresh each day. Just have a designated spot for the contents.
She also talks about utilizing closets to their full potential. Closet supremacy.
Right. Built-in closets are prime storage real estate. Use them for almost everything. Large items like luggage, sports equipment, but also things like bookcases or storage racks can sometimes be moved inside the closet to free up floor space in the room itself.
At a specific point about bathrooms and kitchen sinks, keep them clear.
Keep everything out of the bathtub shower area and off the kitchen sink surround and counters when not in use. Shampoo bottles, sponges, soaps, they get slimy from humidity and splashes and make cleaning much harder. Wipe them down, put them away in a cupboard.
Good point. Easier to clean.
She also suggests drying things like sponges and cutting boards in the sun outdoors if possible, natural disinfectant, and store seasonings away from the stove's heat and moisture in a cupboard.
She even mentions creating a personal shrine.
Yes, on the top shelf of a bookcase, perhaps. A small, designated space for items that feel special or sacred to you, like effective good luck charms. It's about consciously creating a space with positive energy.
And decorating the inside of your closet with secret delights.
Yes. Your storage spaces don't have to be purely functional. Make them your private paradise. Put up posters, photos, fan memorabilia, things that spark joy for you, but maybe you don't want on public display. It makes opening the closet a little moment of happiness.
One last storage tip. Eliminate written noise. What's that about?
This is about peeling off labels, brand names, promotional stickers from storage containers, cleaning products, deodorizers, etc. She believes that even if these things are hidden in cupboards, the excessive visual information creates a kind of subconscious clutter or commotion in your mind, striving for visual simplicity.
Okay, so you do all this. The massive discard, the thoughtful storage. What are the actual results? What's the magic people experience? Is it just a tidy house?
Apparently, it's much more than that. The effects she describes are genuinely transformative for many people. One common outcome is discovering what you truly want to do with your life.
How does tidying lead to that?
By handling every single possession and asking if it sparks joy, you inevitably confront yourself, your values, what truly matters to you. This clarity often extends beyond possessions, leading to insights about careers, hobbies, relationships. She gives an example of a client who, after tidying her books, realized her passion lay in social welfare and changed her path.
And that constant decision-making, asking, does it spark joy? Over and over. That must build confidence.
Absolutely. It's like exercising your decision-making muscle.
Mhm.
You get better at trusting your own judgment, your intuition. This confidence spills over into all areas of life, making you more decisive and self-assured overall.
She also touches on the psychology, how clutter can represent attachment to the past or anxiety about the future.
Yes, the inability to let go often stems from fear. Fear of losing memories, past, or fear of not having enough future. The tidying process forces you to confront these fears directly. By choosing what to keep based on your present joy, you clarify your values, reduce doubt, and become more grounded in the now.
It sounds emotionally taxing, though.
She acknowledges it can be painful, but argues it's essential work for moving forward authentically. You have to process the past to make space for the future.
And she mentions people discarding incredible amounts, hundreds of bags, but rarely missing any of it.
Right. People discard, say, 200 garbage bags full, or maybe 20,000 cotton swabs in one case she mentions, and yet they report no real inconvenience afterwards.
What's the lesson there?
It teaches you two things. First, just how much unnecessary stuff you were living with. And second, that you can manage without it. It builds resilience and trust in your ability to cope and solve problems through action rather than hoarding things just in case.
She even gets a bit philosophical, suggesting possessions want to be useful.
She does, encouraging you to send discarded items off with gratitude, trusting they serve their purpose for you and might now serve someone else. It's about seeing belongings not just as inert objects, but as things with energy, deserving respect.
Maybe the most surprising effect she claims is this idea of a physical and mental detox.
Yeah.
People losing weight, skin clearing up.
It sounds almost magical, but she reports observing it frequently. She speculates it might be linked to the cleaner environment, maybe less stress, perhaps the sheer physical exertion of the tidying marathon, or the mental clarity that comes from resolving clutter. It's like detoxing your house has a knock-on detox effect on your body and mind, reduced worldly desires too.
So is it like feng shui? Does tidying bring good fortune?
She doesn't claim to be a feng shui expert, but she believes that creating a space filled only with things you love, things that spark joy, puts you in your natural state. Living in alignment with what feels right and joyful is, in her view, a form of good fortune. It creates a positive, supportive environment. That color gradation in the closet is part of that creating calm, positive energy.
And she claims she can tell just by watching someone handle an item whether it sparks joy for them.
Apparently so. She looks for subtle body language cues, a light in their eyes, the way they hold it, the energy around them. She believes possessions that are truly loved radiate a different aura and serve their owner better. The ultimate goal is to be surrounded only by things that make you feel that way. She gives an example of spotting items a client kept but didn't truly love. The lack of joy was visible.
It really underscores her main point. It's about your feeling, your joy. If you can say, I really like this, and mean it, that's the only criterion.
Exactly. It's deeply personal.
So this whole deep dive really drives home that tidying, in the KonMari way, isn't meant to be a never-ending chore.
No, it's positioned as a special event, a festival almost.
It's a once-in-a-lifetime task. You do it right completely, and then you're free to focus on your actual life, your mission, surrounded only by things you love. It's a tool for transformation.
A powerful tool for self-discovery, enabling you to design a life and a home that truly reflects who you are and what brings you joy.
Which leads to a final thought for you to consider. If the objects in your life are sitting there, waiting for you to decide their fate, what are they trying to tell you about the life you are living right now and the life you aspire to create?